So, the first thing, whoa, what's going on here? I'll hear myself. Now I hear myself. So Yoni Levinson? I think I'm saying it right. He was somebody who was like in law school, dropped out to become a personal trainer. And I'm going to see what I can learn from this episode. But aside from that, in terms of little like behind the scenes Hearty Gentleman stuff, you're going to hear Jordan say it's episode 17. It's actually episode 16. And this is no mistake of his own. Just when we shot these intros that you see, we shot them all in one day. We actually shot them all in I think we shot them all in 2 hours. I literally just Jordan was just standing there and we just did one after the other. And I think in the back and forth between the two of us and having to stop for breaks, I think somewhere along the line we got mixed up with what episode was what. So I'm just gonna correct them in the episode, and correct them I mean you're just gonna see a big 16 on Jordan's face, and that's just to indicate that he's gonna say 17, but it's actually 16. And yeah, that's how professionals do it. Yeah.
Is the doing the hostel? At the end of the day, the cities that I was interested in.
Man, in this interview, I didn't notice this while we were doing it. Again, that's why it's so cool to think and talk about it as I'm watching it. Jordan did actually a really good job. He was he actually thought about each question, and he wasn't rattling things off. He was really thinking about what he was saying, not just about thinking of what to say back, which is the art of active listening. I think this is a glimpse of Jordan entering Ultra Instinct for all the Dragon Ball fans out there. This is a little glimpse of what's to come, because you guys haven't seen the other episodes. He gets so much better, so you haven't seen those. He gets a lot, just so much better. And yeah, it's really cool to see that. Other than that, Yoni has a really it's a much deeper story than what you usually hear from fitness professionals. Usually, I don't want to say deeper, I don't want to compare people, but usually you hear the story of I was very sick, or I realized how important it was to work out or something, and or I lost a bunch of weight. And, even for me, I used to be a personal trainer, and when I was a kid, when I was 14 years old, I was 350 pounds, and I lost all this weight, and then I wanted to be a personal trainer, but wasn't where my heart was. I just knew that I was good at losing weight, so I wanted to help people do it. But he has a different type of story. It comes from such a deeper place of why he got into personal training. It's more to do with emotion and family and having the time to be around them than it is about health even, which is very surprising. Cool interview. I have to be honest, when this interview was going on, I wasn't all that into it, but now that I'm watching it back, this is actually pretty cool. Thanks, Yoni.
And Charles. And
Charles Colin.
Yeah. And so when I met...
At that part, there's no big insight there, just Yoni's just talking about just an event that he went to, and he just mentioned Charles Poliquin. And every time somebody mentions Charles, I noticed in these episodes, Jordan always makes a point to say his full name, that it's Charles Poliquin, because he had so much respect for him, and he was a genuine friend to him. And he passed away a few weeks ago. I think Jordan was recently, today's November 5th. I think recently he was at a memorial service for Charles, and we didn't get to do anything per se for Charles in terms of an episode or anything, but rest in peace, Mr. Poliquin. Yeah, I think Jordan would want to say that. That's actually a key thing, and I have to remember that. Yoni just said, when it comes to your health, you either make time for it now, or you'll be forced to make time for it later. That's a really good insight. Yeah. This is a really different kind of episode. there's not as many insights per se. I mean, it's a much deeper talk. It kind of caught me off guard. It's a much deeper talk than I thought it would be. Just like with Darren, like the last episode I was editing, it went into such a different place than I thought it would. And that's the great thing about these conversations. They're really going places where you wouldn't expect it. You usually expect if somebody, a guy like Jordan is interviewing a personal trainer, you're usually able to pinpoint where it's going to go. But we haven't talked about chest. We haven't talked about biceps. We haven't talked about anything like that. We've just talked about why you would want to move into this type of career and the deeper reasonings behind it, more so than just fitness, more so than just getting jacked, more so than just wanting to help people. So it's really cool episode. I'm gonna get back to it. So Jordan, the Segway King, and you guys can answer this in the comments section or the Facebook feed, whatever, wherever you see this. There's 3 doors. What did he say? You have 3 choices. Yeah, there's 3 doors. So one's the $100 million door. One, you find your soulmate, and through the other one, you get a time machine. Which would you pick? Not telling you which one Yoni picked. Not telling you which one Jordan says is the right answer. Gonna let you sit with that. Okay? Getting back to it.
We should do a segment of the show, the Segway question.
I think that would be a big distraction.
Well, there's 6 seasons.
At this point in the conversation, Jordan asked me if I ever seen Game of Thrones. And smart me, I was like, no, I've never seen it, because I think it would be a distraction, and I can't afford to have distractions because I'm always editing and doing stuff, trying to shoot and do different things. And recently, I was introduced to Game of Thrones. Yeah. And after about 4 days, I was on season 5. I got no work done. I got to season 6. I'm done. And then I find out there's another season that I still have to see, and that there's another one coming out where the episodes are going to be like an hour and a half each. It's ridiculous. I was so right. It's such a big distraction. I would sit there. My couch is over there. I would wake up in the morning. I wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'd watch it until like 9, 8. I do my morning routine, which is meditation, reading, affirmations, meditation. Did I say that already? And then I would watch Game of Thrones. And I would just watch it until like 3 o'clock. It'd be ridiculous. It's such a distraction. Such a distraction. That's a little insight. I knew it. That's why I said that. I was like, it would be a distraction. And then my girlfriend, she's just like, you want to see Game of Thrones? She's like, I got Crave TV. You can watch it. It was such a big mistake. I love that goddamn show. God damn it. Winter's coming.
Right, and he's teaching a course where you're, to be in the room is maybe $40 or $50 an hour. Like,
man, more stuff about Charles Poliquin. Yoni just exclaimed that Charles is like the best in the world at what he does, and Jordan agreed. It's sad that he's gone. I've never followed his work or like any of his programs or anything, but as soon as he passed, you started to see. Well, I mean, even before he passed, because this episode was recorded well before he passed away. You start to see how much he impacted people, and yeah. Sucks that I never got to meet him. I actually was going to meet him because Jordan asked him to be on the podcast, and he agreed. He was like, I'm definitely going to be on your podcast, and they were just trying to find a time when it all made sense, and then we never got to do that. So I was going to get to meet him, but I never did. But his impact is just, it rings throughout the strength training world, throughout the fitness world. And it's pretty it's pretty cool to see. But yeah, just that's not even an insight. Just the thought came to me. Sorry. Oh, and that thought came because Yoni actually is making this amazing point about like, and I'll just say what he said. People don't people don't bat an eyelash to borrow $50,000 to go to some third-rate school and get a degree. But when someone like Charles or anybody who's like amazing in the industry decides to make a class, they talk about how expensive it is and they're a little standoffish to do it. And it's so true. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be in the position to this year, and I'm going to make sure I invest a lot into myself and not be that person that's afraid to take a class from somebody who is in the position I want to be in. I just think it's a smart thing to do. And that just made me think of that. Yeah. So, that was the end of the episode. It's all done now. Really cool. Really, yeah, I keep saying it was just a lot different than I thought it would be going in. And it's a lot different now that I'm editing it and watching it all. And Yoni, please come back and talk about travel stories. Because this guy has a bunch of travel stories. You have no idea. There's some stuff that he told us off camera. Because like after we finished the episode, he stayed for like another half hour, 40 minutes or something. He stayed while we were waiting for Miss Selena Moon to arrive, which will be the next episode. But you can catch this episode coming out 3 p.m. It's November 5th today. It'll be the 12th. November 12th, 3 p.m. Catch it. Yoni, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And Jordan, great job, man. You were really great in this episode. I know I said it when we were on the phone while I was doing this. But yeah, you were great this time. That's it. Take it easy. Peace. Insights.